we're just going to wait for a couple people to get on here for all those watching on YouTube. All right, let's see. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining tonight. 2 nights in a row. Very exciting. We're back in the office this evening. If you hear some banging around, it's because it's very, very windy in Pittsburgh, if you can imagine. So we're going to wait for Seth to get on here. For those who have never been here before, hi, my name is Jules. Tonight is Tea Time Tuesday. Hello, Cynthia. Nice to see you. This is the evening where myself and my best friend get together and we talk about everything under the sun. So if you're interested, it's kind of like a podcast. We record it and upload it every Tuesday onto YouTube so you can watch it back. So I'm going to go ahead and get Seth on here and we're going to start rolling right now, okay? So let's get him on. Perfect. Okay, let's give it a second to load. There we go. Oh,
Oh,
oh my
oh,
God.
oh, goodness. Now I can hear you. Why was that all the way down? Oh my
Oh
gosh. Sorry.
my
Hold on.
God. Aren't you
Hi. Sorry, Charlie is
gorgeous?
like right here. Yes, you can stay there. Let Daddy move around all your stuff. Hi.
Hi, darling. How are you today?
Good, good. Got a nice big cup of coffee
Perfect.
and because it'll be a long night and I'm okay with that.
Yes,
So
that's good. Good.
I've been making soaps today and putting all my packing supplies away and stuff, which is good. And
Perfect.
so, yeah, everything kind of came up. And Charlie, you got to stop moving this, buddy. Okay. So, but how was your day today?
Today wasn't too bad.
Yeah, good.
It was warmer than usual here, which was
Yeah.
kind of weird. But it's back down to like freezing temperatures. So
Mm.
I cleaned. Miss Vera is here today, so I
Oh,
want the
yeah.
house to be very nice for her. And yeah, that's really all that's going on. I'm in a crochet frenzy right now, doing arrows. So that's
Oh, yeah.
I've
We
got a
got
bunch of
that
little red
coming
men
up.
running around,
Yeah.
all with Cupid's bow on him. So got a
They're
bunch of
so
those.
cute.
Yeah. I
So
saw
cute.
Cynthia put in the chat that she got tickets to Nine Inch Nails. I'm very, very
Oh,
excited for
wow.
you,
No
Cynthia.
way, Cynthia.
Thank
That's cool.
goodness. Um, I was talking to Maddie Danger earlier about it as well. Maddie wasn't able to get tickets. I had told Maddie though that I was basically in tears, begging the universe for a ticket, and I did end up having to get tickets to Detroit, which are 4 hours away.
Oh,
So I
oh,
got to drive four
oh.
hours to go see them, but it's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
that's okay. It'll be
It's
worth
fine.
it.
It's worth
Yep.
it. It's fine. I think
Yep.
it's fine. So
I think
um,
it's fine. Yeah.
that's the
I
Nine Inch
think
Nails update.
I think in where Maddie lives too, I think they're like $300 to $500.
Yeah, when I spoke to Maddie earlier, I looked to see what the ticket prices were, and it was about $300 for nosebleeds that had no visibility of the stage. Where it's like the stage and on the
Yeah.
back side. So to
Jeez.
me, I was like, that's not worth it. And I know that her husband, she said her husband, Jaden, is a big Nine Inch Nails fan. So I did feel terrible that she couldn't
Yeah.
get tickets.
That's a
Um,
lot. That's a lot of
it's a
money.
lot of money. It's a
So,
lot of money. I really wanted to get Pit so bad just to be able to say I was in the pit for Nine Inch Nails, and the pit tickets were $400 a
oh,
ticket, and
whoa.
I just couldn't justify spending that kind of money. So I whatever. I was like, okay. So we got a really good section where like the stage is like here, then there's pit, then there's our seat, and our seat
Yeah.
is up 7 rows. So we're like directly in front, 7 rows back, right behind the
Wow.
sound tech. So we're above sound tech, like with a straight shot to the stage. So I figured that would be a good one. Is that I think is it Little Caesars Arena or like Caesars something Arena in Detroit?
Oh, yeah.
It's something like
Gotcha.
that. Yeah, so
Wow. Okay.
not too bad.
Um, I definitely did not buy. I have a generous friend. Ooh. Well, that's really good. I was
Oh,
wondering,
oh,
I kind of saw
Cynthia.
prices of tickets here and I was like, ooh, that's high.
Yeah,
But
they
this whole town is Nine Inch Nail
yeah,
freaks. So all the affordable ones were gone within the first few minutes, which was kind of interesting. But
Yeah. And
so,
what happens too, for people who don't know how tickets work, usually what comes in is like the people who sell them, they're like ticket brokers,
hmm
and they come in and they get the tickets first. And once they're gone, the crap seats are left usually, and the crap seats are double the price.
yeah,
So if you're lucky, you can get through a ticket broker if you're lucky. And those are usually a little bit more affordable. They're usually on deal sometimes. And then you also have scalpers coming in who usually buy 4 to 6 tickets at a time, and then they
yeah,
resell for 3 times the price. So
yeah,
I refused. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait until it opens. And I'm just thankful that I was able to get somewhere that's under 6 hours away.
yep,
Philly, when I looked at ticket prices for Philly, holy crap! For I'm telling you, for seats that realistically, I mean, they were on the side of the stage. There was no way there was visibility. There's no way there was visibility, and they were like $300. I was like,
yeah.
that's on no, that's crazy.
No,
So Detroit, I will be in Detroit with Dominic
damn.
for Nine Inch Nails. So,
That, yeah,
uh-huh.
that's well, 4 hours, honestly, you can make it work okay.
I mean, listen, that's like a
So,
day trip to me. I listen,
yeah,
anything
it
under
is.
if it's under 8 hours, I can do it in one day. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
you
care. I can
could.
do it in one day and still enjoy the rest of the day.
Yeah,
To me, 4 hours is not crazy, but I'm also somebody like I just I'll drive 6 hours to go pick up an antique. So it's like, at the end of the day,
yeah, and you
and I
have.
have.
So,
I have done it. I've driven from Connecticut to Baltimore to go pick up an antique. So it doesn't,
yeah,
like, you know, but
yeah, yeah,
so
that's really true.
that's
That's
how I feel
funny.
about that.
I did, I did see a few other what was my last announcement I saw? Portishead.
Portishead.
Beth Gibbons is starting to do a tour, and so I think she just announced it today. Um, I was like, that would be a cool one to see. But I don't know. I'm assuming those prices would be astronomical too, because she's coming all the way from Europe.
I'm
But
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, I
yeah,
would say so. I really wanted to see. I mean, it's not frou frou anymore, obviously, but I would die to see. What is
oh,
what is the
Imaging Heap.
Imogen Heap? Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would die to see Imogen Heap, but
that'd
I
be so
know
cool.
those tickets are going to be astronomical when she
Yeah.
goes around. I just know it. So,
It'd probably be cheaper to honestly, because I don't know if it's in New York she's doing it,
mhm.
or she goes in and she's teaching groups of like musicians how to like use their voices in certain things or instruments
Yes, I know what
and
you're talking about.
yeah, and she just seems really fun,
I
honestly.
mean, she is an artist.
Yeah,
She makes art with her music. It's fantastic.
she
Um,
does.
I'm a sucker for frou frou. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie. That first frou frou album, god
that's the
damn,
best.
that's
That
the
was the
best
best
album.
one.
That one, and
Yep,
then the first Imogen Heap album. Oh my
yep,
god, Headlock.
yep,
What the? That
yep.
was like
Headlock
that was like
and
magic. That was like
yeah.
magic.
Yep. There was one I liked off one of her albums, but I didn't care for the album. It always looks like snow to me on the video. I can't remember the
Oh,
name of it.
I
Um,
yeah, I know what you're talking
Canvas.
about.
It's
Yeah.
called Canvas. That's what it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I just like that she drapes herself in the most black fabric I've ever seen anyone drape themselves because she's like 9 feet tall
Uh-huh.
and then wears those huge platform shoes all the time and she just like I like her.
Yeah.
She just doesn't give a shit. She's got that authentic voice and her and Diamanda Gallis I would love to see in person.
She's
Like,
a fascinating person as well. She's
yeah,
got a very unique range with her voice and the way
she
that she
does.
uses music. Is she Greek or is
She
she Italian?
she's Greek, but she grew up most of her life in Southern California, I
Yes.
believe.
I
So,
I
but
she sounds like she has Greek or Italian inspired
yep,
opera,
yeah.
tones in there
Oh, I
sometimes. And that's
agree
why I
with
was
that.
wondering if she was Greek or Italian.
Yep. When were down, this was years ago, in the Joan days. And
Down
it
in
where
John days.
it was like near South Bend, Indiana, and we went over to Chicago and we got to see this little show with her. And back then it was a little show, like it was just her and a piano, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. Right by Wax Trax Records there, right across the street, there's this big church, and that's where she did it. And it was all based on her brother. The entire show was based on the loss of her brother from AIDS. And it's an experience. She's an acquired taste.
Yeah, she's
So
unique. She's unique.
yeah.
I've never seen her. Dominic is in the chat. He has seen her,
Yeah.
and I hadn't heard of her in years. And when we first got together, this is like almost 2 years ago now. He had sent her to me, and I was like, oh my God, like I completely forgot A, that she existed, and B, how like haunting, as he said, her music is. I mean, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's an experience, and it is an
It,
acquired taste. It's
it
obviously
is.
not for everybody, you know what I
Mm-mm.
mean? But it is inherently gothic.
Oh yeah.
It is
Mm.
dark, sometimes morbid. It's visceral. It's again, it's like art.
Yeah.
It's an experience when you go to see her. So
Like Screech's Bible scriptures.
yeah, it's
It's
terrifying.
just
It's
like,
terrifying. I would believe that she's a vampire.
oh,
I would
absolutely. And she
believe that
looks
she is a
like
vampire.
one.
Hmm.
She just, yeah, she looks like one too. And I remember back in the day, the club would play Double Barrel Prayer by her, and it's her screaming at this most high-pitched tone I've ever heard for like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah,
And but it is a good
yeah.
song.
I mean,
And it's just talk about fighting the devil. It's crazy. I'm just like, damn, dude, your voice is probably fighting him.
really
But
go for it.
yeah, so it's kind of funny. And um but yeah, she's special to me. But one thing that I really do like about her is she still to this day donates to nonprofit organizations to help with AIDS research
Yep.
and that kind of stuff. And she had her hand in like the PrEP pill.
Yeah.
And she's an amazing human.
Yeah.
She just really is. And I've only seen one picture in all these years of her smiling with, I think it was her boyfriend at the time, and I was like, oh my God, she smiles. Like,
She feels joy.
hmm people are terrified of her, and it's kind of funny. I'm like, man, I don't, she's singing the truth. Like, she's singing what people believe in. She just screams it. So, so it cracks me up. But yeah, her and Imogen, I would love,
Hmm.
oh, I love Garden State. Princess, yeah, that's an old school film.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that probably since my early 20s. I want to be honest. So
Yeah,
that's been like
it's
10 years probably
it's
since the last time I saw that film.
been a long time. I forgot the music in that. Oh wow. That's a good one. There's some flicks that just have the best music scores, and it's just like your own personal
Yeah.
mixtape from a film, and I really love that. And there's a few that are like that. Like 500 Days of Summer, they could have like cut out more of the Morrissey, but they really put the best music in that
Yeah.
movie.
That's
So
I mean,
I think,
that is a good film.
yeah.
It's a
Hmm.
sad film though too. It is
Hmm.
sad.
It
Do
is sad.
it's a film I was just Dominic has never seen it. It's the film called Her with Joaquin Phoenix and the AI. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he like
Yes.
it's like an AI thing on his phone, and
Why
I
do
don't
I
want to give any spoilers
feel?
away to anybody who's ever seen it. That had great music, and that also was like a profoundly sad film. Like it was
Yeah.
so depressing.
Man, I don't know if we've seen. Hi, Byron. I was wondering when he was gonna pop
Oh
up.
my God,
I know
Byron, what
he
are you
never
doing
usually
here?
he never usually has time to get on these, and so I'm really grateful. And so like Wicked, you're ridiculous. No musical, but not in person at least,
Yeah,
um,
her. Yeah,
but
yes,
I don't know if we've seen that.
her is a
But
very, if you haven't seen it, it's not horror by any means.
yeah.
It's like a very, you know, Joaquin Phoenix plays a very lonely character. I don't want to give too much away, but he ends up
Mm.
talking to, it's like an AI chat system
Oh,
that rapidly gains intelligence. And it's just very sad. Just very, very sad. It's a great film, but it's very, very sad. I cannot recommend it enough.
yeah. Wow. Well, I'm down for
Yeah,
it.
you should watch
Um,
it.
I'm down to see that. Um, when Byron and I, anytime he's home, if we get sick, we binge watch shows.
Mm,
And oh, what is the one? You would love it. It's very like 70s when porn was becoming a big thing, but it wasn't really classified as
mhm.
that. Oh, Minks. Byron will know the name. Hi, Finland. Um, um, I want to say it's called Minx, and it's a
Okay.
series. There's like two seasons, I think. So, but we were binge watching that. And it's so cute. It
Minx.
is
Okay.
such a cute ass show. Minx, that's what it is. Thank you, Byron. I think you would really like that. The aesthetic is very like everything is just so aesthetically pleasing when you watch
Yeah.
it. It's really it gives you weird cravings for things, and you'll know what I mean if you watch it, because it's everywhere in it. But I'm like, why am I missing some stuff while we're watching the show? I'm like, jonesing for things.
Oh my
So
God. All right,
mhm,
cool. I'll check that out
mhm.
too. Yeah, I've
You'll like that.
you know, I do immerse myself in a lot of horror, but
Yep,
I really do enjoy things outside of that genre sometimes. So
yep.
if it is, you
You'll
know,
like it.
okay, I'm gonna trust your judgment. I definitely will try it out.
I
Um,
don't know if it's based on a true story, but it feels like it should be if
yeah,
it's not, because I'm like, whoa, that's crazy this stuff would happen. Like, so I think you guys would really enjoy that one.
cool.
So
All right, yeah,
yeah.
we'll definitely try it. I'm
So
definitely not opposed at all.
not
Um,
not okay in front of Vera though. It is a
no,
lot of
we don't.
nudity. So
Listen, in this house when Vera's here, we're watching Adventure Time 24/7.
yeah.
Okay, we are watching Adventure Time, Powerpuff Girls,
Mm.
occasionally Sailor Moon, sometimes. Um, uh, trying to think of what else. We watch some SpongeBob together. You know, she does love a nice, tasteful
Oh.
SpongeBob episode. I can't blame her. You know,
Yeah, the
very
dogs
grown
really
up.
like SpongeBob too.
SpongeBob's great. But yeah, we're on an Adventure Time binge. Which, if you have never seen Adventure Time, I know it's a people think it's a children's show. That show, um, is a profoundly sad show as well, and has a lot of adult humor in it. That came out when I was still in high school and Dominic was still in high school. I think it came out in what 2011, I believe, and that show changed my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but there's like I don't know
Um,
10 seasons I think or something like that. But you watch them grow up. You watch Finn, the main character, grow up
yeah,
as he goes through from 11 years old and onward, and I don't know, like the relationships throughout the film and the backstories of a lot of the characters, like it's not just silly little kid humor. Like there is a story being told throughout it. You know, it's not like SpongeBob where there's random episodes. It's
yeah.
really like a timeline that builds. And
Oh,
it's very, very good. I also recommend Steven Universe if anybody hasn't seen that too.
oh.
Those are both very,
Ha-
very good shows.
Has she? Oh, yeah, Byron. I remember that. Um, Finn used to watch it all the time. And the little boy in the show, does he have a
Yeah,
hat, like a
yeah.
yellow hat? Okay.
Finn.
Yep. I know what show that is then.
Is it good?
Yep.
Fun.
Gotcha.
It's
Yeah.
very, very good. It talks about a lot of like existential things about death and
Mm.
about you know, like family and loss and grief and things like that. It's very, very good.
Oh,
It's a very, very good show.
oh.
Yeah.
You should watch. I don't know if she would be interested in watching Bluey, but I know your dog would be, Padme would be interested.
You know why? Because they actually colored the show to look like dog toys that dogs prefer because it's like
Yeah.
the color gradient on it is
Yep.
actually aimed for dogs to view it. So
Yeah.
dogs enjoy bluey usually.
Ours, you'll watch their heads move back and forth when
That's
I
so
turn it on.
funny. I mean, they are
I
little kids, that's why.
and it's so funny, and it sucks. There's only like 8 episodes or something. There's not even a lot,
Yeah.
which they really should have done more. But it is really cute. I don't know if Vera would like it, but I know Padme would love it.
Well, we'll try it on Padme. Yeah, Vera is at the age where she's definitely starting to enjoy the cartoons that we liked when we were kids. So
Mm.
we've been trying to get her
Oh, that's
into
good.
yeah, we've been trying to get her into some of the older cartoons. I recently,
Oh,
I am over the moon thrilled. She enjoys The Black Cauldron, which is
oh,
a,
that's cool.
is it I think it is Disney, but it's
Yeah.
an old Disney movie that I loved when I was a little girl, and she really likes it.
Oh,
And she requested
oh,
for Christmas she wanted like the Disney book of it, so I got her the book because I found it at a thrift store. So
oh, oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, so she
That's
really
really
likes that one.
cool.
Yeah,
Wow. The Owl House.
I don't think I've ever heard
Well,
that one. The Owl
uh-uh.
House. I've never heard of that one.
That
I'll have
sounds
to check
cute
that one
though.
out. You'd be surprised. A lot of kids shows, it's because they know that like adults are typically watching it with the children. There are a lot of like kids shows that talk about very I don't know, mature is not the right word because it's not like it's crass by any means. It's just like more intellectual themes than you
Yeah.
would think. So,
Hmm. I watched some of the creepier Disney films growing up with my dad, the black and white ones and stuff. He
mm-hmm.
was a sucker for that. But I never even watched any Disney films besides those until I met Byron. And I think I've seen almost all of them, I'm assuming now with him. But they were re-releasing them every year on his birthday, around his birthday, so we got to watch them. And like Beauty and the Beast, I was like, how did I miss this? Like
Listen,
like
that's a good one.
yeah,
That's a
it's
really good
really good.
one.
So, but it was because of Byron, I even got to watch the colored Disney movies,
Yep.
because my dad liked the black and white ones, all the skeleton dance and cartoons. Byron, you're so ridiculous. But ah, sorry, this popped up. There we go. I thought everything froze for a second,
No,
but oh,
I added Dominic as a moderator
thank
just
you.
in case. Just in
Yeah,
case.
yeah.
What are you talking about,
But
Brett? I don't want cartoons or Disney. Byron, it's okay. It's okay. I will
he comes home, he goes,
talk Disney with
you,
you all day if you enjoy it.
he's like, are the dogs watching that show again? I'm like, yes. You're so funny, Byron. Um, it's on Disney. The main character is Dominican American that falls into an alt dimension with witches.
Wow,
Oh,
that sounds great.
cool.
All right, I'm gonna
That's
make a note of it. I'm doing that
yeah.
right now. For anybody who's watching this on YouTube after the fact, I'm gonna put the topics throughout the live under it. So,
Yeah, I'm writing that down too, because um
okay, let's see. It was called The Owl House. All right.
Owl House.
Um, Fantastic.
Let's see.
I also do have some notes here for things for us to discuss on the live.
Oh yeah.
Here. Oh, I'm very excited. Um, okay. Okay, so um, no,
Oh, Jennifer, you're
Jennifer's
still
at
at work,
work
huh?
still.
Yeah.
No.
Jennifer, why was there all those jets flying around today, if you're allowed to say? There was like a lot of jets flying around today. It was crazy. I was like, what's happening? Like the dogs didn't want to go outside because it was so crazy loud.
Oh my God.
That's funny. We'll see if she can
Yeah.
say, but so I'm like, I don't think today's any kind of holiday.
No, I
Like,
don't think
what's
so.
happening?
I don't think so
Yeah,
either. What is today?
but
Today's Tuesday. Yeah. I
yeah,
don't know.
so they weren't black though. They were like silver.
Mm.
but
Okay.
man, our windows were vibrating and everything. I was like, what is going on? So
Oh
the
my
hills
God.
have eyes. Oh, creepy. That was creepy. You can't do that. I really like the queer
Oh, that's awesome.
representation.
Okay, even better. Even
Wow.
better for me to watch this. I'm a big fan
Wow,
of
that's cool.
I like when Disney does that, so that makes me happy to hear that there's
Yeah.
queer representation and
Yeah.
themes that pertain
I-
to what we discussed. It's my man's birthday, so it's definitely. Oh, I see. Well, happy birthday to your
Oh, happy birthday to him for me, Christy.
man. Let's see. I heard
I
trains and I was outside. I was too busy dealing with stupidity. I may. Oh, I see. I see. I see.
oh,
Okay.
gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Not an issue.
There were trains too, really loud trains today. That's crazy. So unless we're just ultra sensitive today, I don't know. But um,
I don't
what?
know. Well,
Chucky's doing
do
me
you want to hear
side
some
eye.
interesting information that I have made notes on from
Yes,
that
I
video
would.
about the Ouija board that we had talked about
Oh,
last week?
oh, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So I made some
let's
notes.
do it.
I'm gonna lay it out for you, okay? Uh, chime in when you like have questions, okay? But
Mhm.
this is gonna be for everybody, obviously, if they haven't heard the story. So um, I'm gonna shout out Cremated Remains. C sent me the 3 videos so I can make notes from them because originally the first video was taken down. I guess it was re-uploaded or something like that.
This is
But
the couple, right?
this is the
The
couple, correct?
okay,
Yes. Okay.
yes. Okay, I wanted to know
Yes. Yes.
about
Yes.
this.
All right.
Okay.
So on TikTok, the account is called Save Seven. So it's Save SE, the number seven, then EN. Okay. There are 3 videos in this series. What happened is this couple, a woman, is the one who introduces the story. Her and her husband, since 2013, have been utilizing a Ouija board to talk to something that self identifies by the name Seven.
Of
Okay.
course it
Uh
does.
huh.
Okay.
Seven says that the world will allegedly, for entertainment purposes only, end on May 27th, 2025. This couple has about 80 pages of written conversation that they've kind of transcribed into a Google Docs. Um, it speaks in binary, so ones and zeros, but it's backwards binary.
Hmm.
Sometimes it speaks in Latin and sometimes it speaks in ancient Sumerian. Okay. So some of the important things that I wanted to talk about. Okay, sorry, I hit the camera. But some of the important things I wanted to talk about that came out that were quite profound in my opinion were it said that there are 5 groups of contact. Okay, we are the third group, like us here now. Okay,
Okay.
contact one failed, according to Seven, 24,825 days ago. That is from days ago from July 25th, 2013. That is when the first atomic B word was dropped.
Oh.
Contact number 2 succeeded 18,534 days ago from July 25th, 2013, according to Seven. And that is the day that the Bay of PIGS happened. Do you know
Oh.
what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
It succeeded on that day. And if we remember, was it climactic? Absolutely. Did something happen though? No. It was thwarted. It stopped. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Okay. From there, Seven said to this woman and her husband, Contact 3 historically fails 29,149 days after Contact 1. This would be 4,324 days in the future from July 25th, 2013, and that is May 27th, 2025.
Hmm.
In ancient Sumerian, Seven refers to the mountain or mother goddess and suggests that people reach the mountain in order to be saved. What are
Hmm.
your thoughts on this? What are you picking up? What do you think?
Well, if they're talking to something that speaks in 3 different languages, one that would be a red flag to me. But Because you really don't know what you're going to talk to.
I mean, yes, and
Eh,
also too, lest we forget, it is in backwards. It's backwards
Yeah,
binary,
it's
backwards Latin, and backwards ancient Sumerian. So when it comes through, she said that it comes through like the language is being written backwards. And then she has to
weird.
translate it backwards into English from the ancient language.
Well, generally, when things are backwards, everything is backwards. So I almost wonder, hmm, trying to get a feel for it, like what it could be. Like the Latin thing, that, I mean, unless it's representing three different specific times of,
That's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Because
because that would make
this is
sense.
what I'm thinking.
So,
Okay. Binary, that's so funny. Dominic has said exactly what I was about to say. Binary to me is referencing the fact that everything is in ones and zeros. Everything can be boiled down to binary, okay? Math, science,
yep.
us, literally.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be the case that it is communicating on a intellectual level in that way of saying like I'm advanced, whatever.
Yeah.
I understand this and I can also speak it to you backwards, like that kind of thing. Who knows? The ancient Sumerian and the Latin, though, I don't know. Like, that's where it threw me off because I was like, you don't want to play into like the stereotypical, like, I'm speaking to a demon through the
Yeah.
Ouija board. Um, I personally took the binary as something that to me was more significant than the ancient Latin and Sumerian. That's what made me go,
Yeah.
huh,
Yeah.
that's peculiar. Who
Yeah.
speaks in binary? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And who mixes all those three
I don't
together?
know.
That's, I mean, to me, this could be an ET trying to come through. Um, Especially if it's backwards. That's the thing, like,
Bizarre.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's really strange. Like, um, hmm, I don't know how it, there's a lot of tricksters though too that are good at convincing and making you feel safe through the entire process. Um, I mean, it might not be, but is this like a normal family? Like,
These are people who are not witches. These are people who are
oh,
not practitioners. These are people who are not religious. They are not by any means special. They're not scientists. They're not mathematicians. They didn't even know the exact dates of these things happening.
yeah,
They
gotcha.
had to calculate the dates based off of the day they were in and go backwards. And when they
Oh,
did that, they
okay.
found out, oh my God, this is what it's saying. So
Gotcha. That, okay.
yeah, yes, and mind you, this is not just one session they got this information. This is from 2013 to now. They've been talking to this
Okay.
thing for 12 years, or if it's one, we don't know,
Yeah.
obviously. um but
Yeah.
for 12 years,
Wow.
they allegedly for entertainment purposes, they've been speaking to this thing on a Ouija board for 12 years. So um
Wow.
the thing is, on July 25th, that is when they were told about this contact thing. Did they get other super profound information too? Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
But that was like later on, and other videos too. She does explain that they have other information, but she does have a Google Docs, a Google Docs account that you can actually view
Oh,
everything.
wow.
She transcribed everything from her notes, and I don't know what to think. I just thought that it was very strange. Obviously, you have to use your discernment whenever somebody says something like this,
Yeah.
especially on social media, because you don't know.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
be from I don't know, like a form of entertainment, if you will. It could be an elaborate hoax, but there was something
Charlie.
that's
All I see is cat ass. Sorry. Charlie, stop. Lay down. Weirdo.
oh my
Sorry.
God, no, you're totally fine. No, I was just gonna say there was something that was inherently I don't know, sincere maybe about the way that she was conveying it. So I felt that she wasn't being dishonest.
Yeah.
I don't know what she doesn't know either. Her and her husband, they have no idea. Um,
Okay.
they said that they've told people and people will laugh and be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to see your notes," and then they don't follow through because they think they're nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, how would you feel if someone close to you came and said, I've been communicating with an entity for 12 years on a Ouija board? I would be like, you've what? Huh?
Yeah, that, I
So,
mean, yeah,
and I mean,
that's crazy a little bit.
the things I usually look for too when people, especially like on investigations and things like that, where people are saying they're utilizing a tool, she did not state, from what I heard, she did not state that anything particularly strange was happening. Like there was not, um, what I would describe as paranormal events. There weren't things like, like poltergeist activity and things of that nature. So it again, it just seemed very sincere. I
huh,
don't know what to think at the end of the day. I do know the science behind talking boards.
yeah,
There is something that they work because of a scientific method or whatever, but um, I do also think it's possible to use that as a tool if you would, if you
yeah.
believe in it. Um,
And it could possibly work that way
correct.
too.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
agree. I
So,
think anything is possible at the end of the day. We've
yeah,
experienced enough to know that, like, I can't tell somebody their experience is not
valid.
sincere or
Yep.
genuine,
Yep.
exactly, just because I haven't experienced it. It just
Hmm.
means that I have to listen to that person and use my own personal discernment to decide, okay, is this honest in my opinion? And if I don't feel it's honest, then it's their truth. That's your truth then.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and not to make them feel any which way, but it's interesting that they said March, um, just because that's been coming up so much
the
for this year.
the date that they said was May 27th,
Oh,
but
May.
the astrology of March, which is what we had talked about previously together in our
Yep.
last thing we did together,
Yep.
March is astrologically very messy. So I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
On a grand scale, could it be something? Maybe. But I
Yeah,
just
it
think
could
I
could
thought it was
be.
fascinating. Just
Yeah.
thought it was fascinating
I
that
kind of want
the
to look at those notes.
what I'll do, she has like a link, I believe, to where you can view it on Google Docs, and I will send it to you afterwards so you
Yeah,
can see it.
I would
Um,
love to see that.
Princess, it also reminded me of Interstellar as well because it sounded like, I don't know. Listen, I know what my own personal beliefs are in regards to I don't know, what would you say, aliens? I don't even
Yeah.
know. Like, I don't, what do you describe it as? Interdimensional beings? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what I
Like,
believe, and I
beings
believe
in
based
other
off of,
realms.
yeah, I know based off of just like what feels right and what feels like science fiction. And
Yeah,
to me, this feels like, is this like interdimensional? Like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. Because I am very apprehensive to just write things off to, oh, it's a demon. Oh, get
yeah,
this.
oh yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
apprehensive to just go into that. I think because the scientific brain and the practitioner brain meet a lot of the time for you and I, and that's why I'm
yep,
like, okay, let's look at the facts. The
yep.
facts are she's not having paranormal events, she's not having hallucinations, she's not hearing or seeing messages, she's not having dreams. It's only when she's communicating through the tool that she's receiving information. So I was like,
That's pretty cool though, that it's
yeah,
really just like limited to one source.
yeah.
The only thing that's throwing me off about it is the Latin thing. Um, well, you know what? I have to say, I saw something. What was it? I don't know if this was a movie or what, where like beings from other realms incorporated Latin in part of their normal language. Um, I have to really think on that. I'm really fascinated to see what it's all about or what. Now, one thing I do have to say is I've seen a lot of people recently doing what are they called? The boxes? Spirit
Oh, the SV7
boxes?
devices?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the
I've seen a
Estes
lot of
method.
Yep, I've seen a lot of people doing those publicly, and supposedly these spirits are saying, you need to be careful and all this stuff. But what I do know with a lot of spirits is they are not allowed to interfere with how the earth does what the earth needs to do or what people as a whole need to do, unless it's like a nuclear type of thing. Then they can
I don't know.
interfere.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Um,
That's why I don't like to like go down too far into, sea theories,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like to go that
Hmm.
far down things. What I like to look at is okay, I can look at coincidences and say, okay, if I get enough, in me personally, if there are three things that are coincidentally overlapping each other, that is not a coincidence.
Right.
That to me is not a
Agreed.
coincidence. Um, I think it is very odd in this case that the numbers that were given were dates that that
Yeah.
correlated with very important things,
Yep.
so I don't know, to me that's why it felt very odd, to say the
Yeah.
least. It just felt very profound, I guess. I don't know. I'm not here saying like ETs are coming and they're sending messages,
Yeah.
through the water. I don't think I don't know what I don't
That would
know.
be really cool
It'd
though.
be amazing, but
Just
do I think that's happening? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but what I do know is that this is very strange.
yeah.
Um, I don't inherently think that when you're talking to something, it's demonic. I think that
Yeah.
it's so limiting on like viewpoint of the paranormal,
Yep. Yep.
fortunately. It's why a lot of those television shows, like I was gonna say Ghostbusters, not Ghostbusters. You know what I'm talking about? Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures,
They're like
everything,
Ghostbusters.
everything was dude or demon.
Yeah, it's exactly.
So,
I feel a negative presence
oh
in
my
the
God,
building here.
dude, that's a demon.
Yeah, so
That's yeah, pretty
I
much the
think that
entire
really
show.
gave it a bad rap, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's see. Oh, it was saying that we were able to avoid the result slash incident because of pandemic, but now we are back on track. I do recall it saying that. Yes, she did state that it said something about the pandemic throwing things off course or something like that. So it's just very fascinating. If you all get the chance afterwards, I would recommend checking out the videos. Use your own discernment. See what you think. If you have opinions on it, I would love to hear your opinions.
I would love to
Sorry, I have to
pull a
close my
read
glasses real
on.
quick.
I would love to pull a read on the whole thing,
Yeah, I
honestly.
think you should. I'll send you
Yeah.
the video of her after.
Yeah.
I would
See
love
what
to
I
know what
get.
you think about it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
wonder if I should reach out and ask her permission for, well, I could just pull it off of the board, not off of her, to sidestep that,
yeah, that might
but we'll
be
see.
best. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
Because in our in our day to day, when it comes to clients, I think maybe only one time has someone in a reading asked me, is I think I had like an experience. Can we read on it?
Yep.
When it comes to what they believe to be an extraterrestrial experience. And the cards were weird. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, the cards were weird. And I told the person, I don't know if this is discussing a um like sleep paralysis episode or lucid dream or something like that, but obviously it
Yep.
is saying like you did have a profound experience, but it's not, I don't know, like I wasn't able to pull, like, there's not an ET card, in
Yeah.
my tarot deck. So like what do you do? Wasn't there, without naming names, wasn't there a reading that you did one time for someone that had
Hmm.
like and you were like, I don't know what this is, I have no idea what I'm looking
Yeah.
at.
She
I
was
feel like
she was convinced it was an alien. And in my reading, I saw a full figure and it looked like a human figure, but just blurred, like
mm,
coming out of her ceiling and messing with her. Um, but I've never felt an alien before, so I don't know what it
I was
was.
gonna say, like,
You know?
collectively, Seth and I have been doing this probably 50 years together,
Yeah.
like, and
Hmm.
I would say I really don't think either of us have had an
Mm-mm.
experience I could, I don't know, like, when it comes to paranormal, we could talk your ear off all the live long day about paranormal experiences. I'm
Yep.
sure everyone here has had an experience that they can't explain, or they've kept
Yep.
it to themselves because they don't want to be perceived as like going crazy. But when it comes to stories about abductees and stuff like that, it's just very interesting. I don't know. I went down a rabbit hole during the pandemic because it was just so fascinating to me. I just couldn't believe that there was this phenomena across the world of people having these experiences where they said that they were abducted. And,
Yep.
at the end of the day, it has to be something,
Yeah,
right? Like something's happening.
because
What
everyone
is it
says
though?
kind of the same
They all say
thing.
kind of the
And
same thing. Yeah, they all
they're
kind of say
like,
the same thing.
and
So
some
it's like,
people are in
what is it?
different continents and stuff, so it's like they can't talk to each other. So why are all these people experiencing the same thing?
Yeah.
That is really weird that you said that, because I feel that way with NDEs as well, because they
Oh,
all
you're
pretty much
right.
say the same thing. But I have this thing where and happy birthday, Kings, King,
King Songbra
um by the
88.
way, sorry, we're just all wrapped up
Yes.
in it.
No, happy
uh,
birthday. Yes.
um uh oh yeah, Chrissy, your mom, that's right too. Chrissy's mom was really, really special. When she was here, she was really one of the most gifted women I had ever met in my life. Um, but NDEs, I got kind of wrapped up, not obsessed, but wrapped up in hearing all these people. Because there's this, God, what is his name? There's a man on YouTube, really nice guy. Um, he went from like being super atheist and scientific with everything to a full-on believer about like the afterlife and stuff after he had NDE. So now he does this whole entire show and he has thousands of videos on it. It's like insane how many videos he's done. But it's all these people talking about their near-death
Yeah.
experiences, what they experienced, where they went, what they heard, what they saw. Now, when I listen to it, I can almost feel what they're feeling,
Mm.
and they're telling their truth,
That's
absolutely, for sure.
that's how
Like,
I feel about it. It's their and at the end
yep,
of the day,
mm-mm,
nobody can take that away from them. Like if that is
no,
what they're experiencing, we just don't have any concept of it. And I think that's why it's very difficult to understand NDEs because unless you
absolutely.
experience it, you don't know. Like,
Hmm.
and I feel like maybe we watched the same thing. There was a television show where a bunch of people explained their experience and it was all like I heard somebody talking just then.
I did too, right behind me.
Yeah, I did too.
Like, I swear somebody just called my name right behind me.
No,
Ooh, man, they're probably like, you're saying too
too
much.
much. No, I know. um
But yeah, you're right though.
yeah,
It, it's crazy. I f- just no, I'm not bashing any of these people. There's my own opinion on how I felt from feeling them talk about those things. I feel they only see like the first, maybe a second realm when they're in that death area, which is very connected to Earth. Um, they'll feel emotions, heat, cold, all that kind of stuff still. Um, but I don't think that most are allowed to see past certain things unless they are like, okay, I'm ready to just go, just take me. I don't want to go
yeah, like they're
back, you know?
transitioning out
So,
of this
yep,
life fully. And
yep,
I feel like that I agree.
yep.
But I think
Hmm.
it's bizarre that, like you said, it's bizarre that I mean, for the most part, yes, there was a. See, you're right. There is not a Netflix documentary about it.
Yep.
But people, they all say the same thing. They're all
Hmm.
having the same experiences. It's like they go out and everything is like prismatic and crystalline too when they go, which is very interesting. Very
Yeah,
like geometric, and there's profound light, and they feel at peace. Like they just feel
yeah.
so at peace, and like I don't know. It sounds very nice. Yeah,
It
it
does.
would.
How they explain it sounds nice, but how they explain it is also exactly how I view evidential mediums.
I see. Very
That's all
interesting.
they can see. They can't see the darkness, they can't see up or down. They see one or two realms, that's it. And that's all that they can do. And I will stand on that hill because everything they say, it's like they watch the whole series of near-death experiences. They're like, "Oh, I'm a medium. I could totally do this." For us, it's completely different.
Hola,
Hola.
¿cómo estás?
For us, it's completely different because e- everything is possible for one, and there's multiple realms going everywhere,
Yeah.
and I feel sometimes we vibrate on different levels. I attract all kinds of crap all the time, and sometimes I get really pissed off. Just like just get out of my house. I don't know why you're
Balance.
here. Just leave. And I get really pissed, and it happens with you too.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny, um, because honestly, like even in our Patreon classes, we will teach what we know,
Mm,
how to be aware of your surroundings and how you can start opening up your own doors for things. But we can never say, you have to do it
no,
like this. This is the only way
no.
to do this.
Mm-mm.
Everything is love and light. Everything is when you die, serial killers go to heaven, P words go to heaven. Everyone just, it's fine. It's just all an experience. We all choose to be here and live miserably. And I mean, to me, that's huge cop out, whitewashed bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the NDEs did something to me when I was watching them because I started to notice a pattern. It's almost like their spirit, not their soul, but their spirit remembers their belief systems when they're here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that is exactly what they find.
Yeah. Well,
And so
I think
they
that's
all
what it
believe in
is.
that.
I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. I think
Hmm.
that when you are near the brink of passing away,
Hmm.
I think that whatever your belief is what will come to get you. I
Yes.
think that's what it is. I think that if your belief is that there is nothingness and that's
Yep.
it, I think that, you know, probably, especially if you're not going in like a violent way,
Yeah.
I think
That's
that
different.
I think that for the most part, you'll be at peace and it's like lights out. I think
Hmm.
for people who have a form of belief system, whatever it may be, I do think that that's what comes to you at the end of it.
Yep.
I think that that's the best way to put it. For me personally, I think that when I go, um, I think it's kind of like I picture the universe like cloud storage, and we are
Yeah.
all just like I don't know, like energy that goes back to the source, if that
Yep.
makes sense.
Yep.
I don't think that there's like a physical, tangible place. I think it's just like your existence and like consciousness goes back to like the collective, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then you can experience it again and you remember things in the collective. Like everybody's just gaining experience for it at the end of the day. And I
Yep.
think that, I don't know, I feel very at peace with that, me personally.
Yeah.
That's how I
I,
feel.
and I really do feel like most people create their own version of
Yeah.
heaven, for lack of a better word. Or they go to where they feel they belong for the things that they've done. And there's just there's nature always has a way of balancing and realigning everything.
Yeah.
She will never let anything get too insane. So I do feel like if she's going to recycle spirits into soil, that's what she's going to
Yeah,
do
definitely.
to
100%.
balance it out.
A
You
hundred
know,
percent.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but do I feel spirits can jump people? Yes. Control people? Yes. Influence groups to think differently? Absolutely. Um, um, I'm not completely sold on possession yet. I've seen some things kind of close, but I think that your free will really does get to make that decision in the end. Um, but some people are so desperate just to succeed, they will invite things into them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so that will always, I have to say, with animals, animals never leave your side, ever. I don't know why they don't go play in huge fields or whatever, but they never leave your side. Um, and they're always, that's one thing I see almost all the time in my readings is people's animals. So even from their childhood. So
Well, that was like,
it's one beautiful thing.
do you remember when you were here and you were like trying to take a photo and you were like, oh, I don't want to take a photo because Padme's in it. And I said, Padme's not in it.
Yeah, that's right.
It was my dog Darla. I always tell people, I'm
Yep,
like, let me know if you see something. And everybody's like, I always see a
yep,
black dog. I'm like, it's my dog Darla. She's been
that's
with me
right.
since I was a little girl. Like she's always been with me.
They always stay with you, always. And just because I think animals are the one thing that understand unconditional love.
Hmm.
Because
I agree.
we as humans don't. We put like, I will give you unconditional love, but
If,
for this
but
ultimatum.
yeah,
And so it just it, it's it's kind of crazy to think animals are just such a pure form. Animals and trees. They're
yeah,
like the purest forms of love I have ever known because no matter what, because I was really not. I was a total asshole years ago. I was a drunk. I was violent. I was completely different. And no matter what, I this cat I had for 19 years. His name was Sandalphon, and I have him tattooed on me. Um, but that cat would love me no matter who I was and know how to calm me down.
yeah.
Like it was the most incredible thing ever. And he was like a dog. He just traveled with me everywhere, And so um but yeah, which is conditional and that's true. And through that cat, and this sounds so crazy to say this, through that cat, I learned patience and love in different ways.
No,
I'm
that
like,
makes
how can an
sense.
animal teach me this?
Yeah,
And they do.
that makes
So
sense.
Christy, we absolutely were. And
Yeah, definitely. Listen,
it's
before
just,
your frontal lobe develops, it's a
hmm.
really,
Yeah,
it's a rough time. It's a rough time until
it is.
your personal code of ethics develops before you really have a grasp on what your morals are, what your stance is on life and like how you want to operate with other people.
Yep.
It's you can take accountability for what you did, obviously. But you
Yeah.
have to remind yourself, like, I am not that person anymore. I take accountability for what I've done,
Yeah.
and I am actively every day trying to change and make a difference. And that's the best you can do
And I was
at the end of the day.
Tom, I always forgive myself for holding on to things. I
Yeah,
always do.
yeah,
And because once you recognize forgiveness for yourself, you can forgive all the people you want, but until you forgive yourself for allowing it to interfere with your growth or your life, you're going to have that little hole in your heart that just hurts all the time. So I think it's important to forgive yourself before you forgive
hmm,
anything else.
I agree.
And so some people really don't,
No, yeah,
it's
no.
crazy.
Some people don't grow out of the
No.
the selfish younger years. They don't.
Hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of the times too, what I know a lot of people, especially people I know right now, especially people what a lot of people are struggling with is the fact that like you are evolving and changing, as you get older, and finding ways to deal with your own personal grief and your own personal trauma,
Yep.
and you take a look at a certain point or at the people around you and you realize, oh my God, like you are still stuck in the same ways. You've inherited the trauma of your parents and now you are playing it out again. Like you're just
Yep.
living in this cycle and I want to move on
Hmm.
with my life. And is it selfish of me to move on without you? And I think that a lot of adults aren't taught when they're younger that it's okay to shed a lot of people
Yep.
as you get older. It's not normal to have like 10, 15, 20 close friends. It's just not,
No.
it's not doable.
Mm-mm.
So many people are not going to be aligned with what you want in your life, and your best friends are going to be the ones who show up for you like family,
Yep.
regardless of what's going on, regardless of the time of day. And they have an understanding of your trauma like you have an understanding of theirs, and they help you
Yep.
grow and you help them grow. And that's just how it
Yep.
is. You're going to lose a lot of people as you grow up, unfortunately. I learned that the hard
Well,
way.
yeah.
You learned that. So many
Yep.
people we know learn that.
Yep. And I think honestly, like we will always attract what um we need to fix or correct in
Mm-hmm.
our life. We will always attract that. But honestly, the people in my life have some level of trauma that I can identify with
Yeah,
that connects us. And
100%.
not, it's not really a trauma bond because that can be unhealthy too, but the trauma where you just understand each other, where you're coming from, and you are like, I gotta just let this go because I know this comes from a place of pain. I know that place of pain.
Yes,
You just identify with each other.
correct.
And I've like yuppies. I've never met a yuppie that has trauma ever. Maybe it's just because they're trashy, but
Maybe you just
I
don't get
just
to know them deep enough, you know. Listen,
they're about
at the end of the day, everyone's got problems, you know. But
yeah.
I think what it is if you don't get to know somebody deeper than a
Hmm.
surface level, and you're seeing them, you know, for that, you know, there's somebody who's a poser, and you know whatever, and
Yeah.
you don't want anything to do with them. You know,
Yep.
why are they a poser? Why are they trying to
Or
get into a scene?
bootlickers.
Yeah, why are they a bootlegger?
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it comes down to a lot of the times. The need to feel included and self-preserve um,
Yep.
over compassion. They
Yep.
don't want to be compassionate towards other people. They don't want to care about other people.
They
They want to
don't.
be selfish.
They have zero
And
empathy. Yep.
at the end of the day, I got to be honest with you. I don't think you can teach somebody how to be compassionate. I
Yep.
don't think you can teach someone how to be empathetic.
Hmm.
It's either intrinsically in you or not.
Yeah.
And you can see it in children. Children don't have bias when they're little.
Yeah.
They may have questions that are obviously articulated poorly because they don't know how to use language in a way where it doesn't come out, you know, a little bit
Hmm.
brash or abrasive.
Yeah.
But hate is taught.
Hate is always
Impatience is
tough.
taught. You know, like
Hmm.
intolerance is taught. And
It's true.
if you raise a child to be you know, compassionate towards others, compassionate towards animals, compassionate towards people who are not the same color as them, they're going to grow up to be empathetic, compassionate people.
Yep.
So, you know, at the end of the day, you run around, you see adults who are bereft of compassion and empathy. You go, that's a failure on their parents' part. And now they're making a choice as an adult to not fix
Yep.
it. And so it's their fault and also their parents' fault. So that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
And some parents really just keep parrying that. And Byron, you're so
Yeah.
funny. It totally is as well. It
Yeah.
really is
You
as
no,
well. You're
Byron's correct.
correct.
You
He
Byron is
is
correct.
correct about that. Um, it's funny because I know, without saying a whole lot, like I really love my mom, I do, but she's really good at enabling certain situations so she can continue to be a mother in ways that aren't really healthy now with her kids grown up,
Yeah.
and so I think that she probably learned a lot of that from my grandma because my grandma was the very same way.
Was she
My
silent
grandma,
generation, your grandma?
my grandma, a silent
That's fine.
generation. She never learned to drive in her life.
Yeah,
She wasn't allowed to
that's fine.
drive. Um, she took whatever pills my grandpa gave
Uh,
her and said, you could do
yeah.
this, you could do that. And she was quiet. Even when she had dementia, she was really funny when she had dementia. Like she got hilarious. And she would say things like, don't tell my husband that you're my boyfriend to Byron, and
Oh
stuff like that.
my
Like she was really kind of a pervy older woman,
Lord.
and
Quite
I
handsome,
loved it.
so I don't
Oh
blame
yeah.
her, you know.
Oh,
I'm not shocked.
she was all over Byron. She loved him. It was so funny. Um, but I learned more about her when she had dementia because she actually talked. Like
Mm,
she was open and talked about things and all that stuff. And but one thing I really learned is I don't really connect, like when I see other people with family, how close knit they are and stuff, we didn't have that. And so I didn't really understand until we really started getting our dogs. Like I
yeah.
didn't really understand what our little family was. And now I'm like, I would do anything for our little family.
Yeah.
Like as long as we're fine and safe. And then I think I'm like, was that how my parents are with us as kids, And so I think I'm in my pervy old woman here. Byron, you're so funny. um, I don't know because you didn't. Unfortunately, you lost your dad
I did.
early, and
Yeah.
so he wasn't like around.
Hmm.
Uh, he wasn't around as much. So you had a different experience that way. Like I chose not to be around my dad because he was like
Mm,
violent and drunk and
yeah,
vulgar. And when I was old enough where I could run away, I did, you know. And so
that's my baby cousin Abby.
uh is your name really Abigail?
Abigail, yeah, that's my
Well,
baby cousin. I love
that's
her.
my favorite. That is my favorite King Diamond song.
Uh, Abby, this is my best friend Seth.
Hi, Abby. Nice to meet you. That's okay if you're attracted to older women. It's absolutely okay. As long as you're over 18,
As
it's
long as you're an
absolutely
adult,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Because you
No,
know the news paints a different picture of that, but
I know.
listen.
But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
For me growing up, I mean, I give a lot of credit to my mom. My mom. It
Hmm.
wasn't until I was older that I really took a step back and I looked and I was like, oh my God, my mom has been through so much. Like she was
Yeah.
a little girl once too, and like
Yeah.
I viewed her like that, and now I view her. She's my mother. I love her so much, but she's also one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And growing up, she always made me feel like, even when I felt deprioritized because I was the oldest child, two other children came in when I was already like 8 years old.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of, I don't know if you remember being eight. I remember being like
Hmm.
5, okay? And I remember thinking a lot about the
Yeah.
world and about my life and about money and things like that. I was always worried about these things at such a young age. So by 8, I felt very ostracized from my family. That's just how I felt. I
Yeah.
always felt like a loner, but my mom always made a point to make me feel included in,
Mm.
she'd take me out to do things and we'd have mom and daughter time, when she could.
Yep.
And I think that made me such a loner as a person. And I have grown up okay with the fact that, like, I've never really had a big friend group. I've never really felt like, I don't know, like I had a big family or anything.
Yeah.
I have like Abby's mom is my cousin Katie, and like I love
Yeah.
her. I lived with them for a little bit, and like that's good family to me. And like,
Yeah.
but as you get older, you have to create your own family. And sometimes that's not blood, sometimes it's animals, sometimes it's having your own children.
Yep.
Um, but a lot of people, especially our parents' age, had children because they thought that was the right thing to do. And they had unresolved trauma that they took
Hmm.
out on us.
Yep.
And is that their fault? Partially, and also not partially, too, because
Yeah.
they were not taught better, but they could have been better. They just didn't really know how to stop, I think, is really what it
Yeah.
comes down to, you
I
know?
agree with that. I agree with that. And it was the norm to the moment you're old enough, you're gonna have kids, get married, and all that stuff. That was normal,
Yeah.
you know. And so, Byron, you're so funny. Um, um, I think it's so fascinating how not that we can control everything in our life, but we have more control of things in our life. And still at the end of the day, I'm going to snuggle with the
Yeah.
dogs. Unless Byron's home. If Byron's home is different, but otherwise I'm snuggling with the dogs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and and they just love it and they know that I will always make sure they are okay, and that kind of stuff. Um so it's a little different now, and I see my mom often enough, I guess. But she's in her own world now, doing her own thing with healing and everything, um, um, and I'm letting her do that.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
um,
I think that, you know, we have this idea, it's like an idealized version of family, ingrained in us, I think, because we live in I think it's like Western society, really does this. There is an expectation of how the family unit should be. um, and it's where, you get to a certain age, you move out of your parents' house and you start your own family, and yada yada yada.
yeah,
Whereas in, like, I have friends in China now, who've
yeah,
explained to me life. And a lot of them, they live with their parents until they are ready to get married, basically. They go to school, they live with them, and like a lot of them live in multi-generational households and they love it and it's wonderful. And like that's not really the norm here.
mm-mm,
Um, And I think that we have strayed so far into like an individualistic culture and mindset, unfortunately, that a lot of us are lost. A lot of us have no concept of what stability feels like anymore, what like a safety net is. And it's
Yep.
really, it's supposed to be your family.
Yeah.
It really is. Like that's why people had family in the past, is so that they had like a safety net. And a lot of us don't, and a lot of people our age like don't have kids. Like I don't have kids.
Hmm.
Dominic has a daughter, and she's now like my stepchild, and I love her more than life itself.
Yeah.
um but a lot of people I know don't have kids, and they're choosing not to because they don't feel security, they don't feel like they have anything really to offer, and it's sad, so
Hmm.
a lot of people also have a lot of trauma that they have to heal, and they're making the unselfish choice to say, I have to prioritize myself before I put that on a child.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Yeah. Jennifer, this
what did Jennifer say?
she said, as an only child, I don't understand siblings.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't have yep. And Byron LOL that he has so many siblings.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta tell you,
Oh,
there it's like a blessing and a curse having siblings, and every
yep.
sibling is for the most part going to be different too. Like everybody's gonna have a different personality.
Yeah.
I think that I have two brothers, and they are so strikingly different from me. If my brother is on here right now, my brother Nicholas, hi, I love you, he loves Godzilla.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I have
Yeah.
Dracula, he is Godzilla. Very different people. But uh, being an older child, I was out of the house before, like for years,
Hmm.
years before they graduated, years and years and years.
Yeah.
I was already an adult by the time they were graduating high school, so it kind of feels a little bit like I was the only child, but I was also the babysitter, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just a loner.
Yeah.
I'm cool being a loner. I'm cool having some friends, and coming on here and getting
Yeah.
to talk to people about things.
This
But
is the most social I get
me too.
is on lives, really. And um um is your name Merrick? If I'm saying that wrong, I'm really sorry. How am I supposed to cope if and when my mom passes? I honestly don't know how to feel.
Mm,
Well, Merrick, for the moment, I wouldn't focus on that.
yeah, I
Like, don't put that out there. And grief is different for everyone, for sure. And so, some people handle it kind of well, and some people have random breakdowns and just break shit, and you know
yeah,
so yeah, it's kind of all over the
I
place, honestly.
my best advice as someone who um I lost a parent at a very young age. Seth has lost a parent as well. Um, Granted, it's our dads. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm going to be like when I lose my mom eventually, but
Yeah, it's a little
um,
different.
it is a little different. Yes.
Hmm.
Um, just remember that there is no time frame on your grief. There is no right way to grieve, and there's no wrong way to grieve. I think as long as you maintain your well-being
Yeah.
as you go through it, you still take care of yourself every day, even if it means you isolate and you have to take a lot of time for yourself, where you aren't social and you don't want to be around people. That's okay. Like that's normal. Just don't stop taking care of yourself while you go through the grieving process.
Yeah.
It will take years to come to terms with things.
Mm.
My dad passed away in 2001, and I still to this day get upset about it.
Yeah.
So it's something that will always be with you, and you'll always carry it with you. But at the end of the day, nothing can ever take away the fact that she existed and that she is your mother, and she still will be your mother, even if
Hmm.
she's not physically here.
Yep.
So don't let
Yep.
somebody determine how you should be grieving. It's
Yeah.
it's up to you. Just make sure that you take care of yourself when the time comes.
Totally agree with that. Um, I didn't handle losing my sister. It's I don't, there's definitely not a right way to handle it. Like, I thought I could handle most things that were thrown at me. Like, I was so thick-skinned and so strong, until my brother died this past June. Um, I can't even explain it. It's like it was a big key that was shoved in my body and opened up this whole new level of emotions I never thought I had.
Yeah.
And it just I'm very good at handling it now,
Hmm.
but I cannot allow it to also like control like running our business, taking care of 9 animals, making sure our household's good, when does the other daddy come home, that kind of stuff. Like I had to have normality
Yeah.
to still function
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
thank you. But I'm still sad about it, and I try not to be, but I can't have photos of him right now.
No, no. Yeah,
It's
I
too
get that.
hard. Yeah, it's too hard. So, and but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely understand. And Byron's right. Grief does not go away. It will
Mm-mm.
stay with you, you know.
Yep.
Same way I feel about my pop-up. I know, Abby. I definitely get it. It I think I love what that quote that says like grief is just the presence of love without anywhere to go. And I think that as long as you always take care of yourself and you remember that they existed and nothing can take that away. They
Yeah.
were there. They every memory you have with them is real. You know,
Yeah.
they were tangible. That's the best way to go about it. And
Yep.
like I hate the month of March. I hate it. It's the worst month ever, and it's because my dad passed away. And for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know, my dad died drunk driving, and it's something that I've carried with me for years. A lot of my family members I've lost have been due to alcohol. And I've recently lost. Seth knows I went through the loss of my cousin Michael, who was like my brother, um, and that was atrocious. And I can't think of him. I can't come to terms with deleting text messages from him. I spoke to him 2 days before he died, and I can't do it. So there is no time
Mm.
limit on grief.
Yeah.
There's really no right or wrong way to experience it. Just don't let it engulf you. Don't let it completely consume you to the point where you are no longer living your life for yourself. You're living your life in the shadow of the grief that you're feeling. I think that that's the best advice I can give to you as somebody who's lost several loved ones,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
And Byron, I agree, and I love you forever and ever. We always comfort each other all around. Like Byron does, Jules does. I mean, strangers I've never met do,
Yeah.
and it's just, it kind of builds a community in a different way too. And I really do love that part. Um, grief, as grief goes, this damn light. My best friend passed away the same week as my birthday in 2013, and I let my life get it on hold in a very, very long time. Oh my gosh. I, it's weird because I know what that feels
Yeah.
like, where you just Byron came home from working and he stayed here, and if he didn't do that, I don't know how anything would have functioned, because I needed time to process what had happened.
Yeah.
And um I was on the phone with my brother when he died, and then I went over to my mom's and I just sat next to him, and and yeah,
Yeah.
so
I know.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying
It's
so hard not to
no,
cry.
it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay. I feel like at least everyone here can understand. So that's why
Yeah,
um at the end of the day, this goes back to Merrick. Try not to focus on it right now. Just be
yeah,
present. Just enjoy what you have right now. Don't be
yeah,
too focused on the grief that's coming. Just be present. And when it comes, it will be okay.
yeah.
Just remember to take care of yourself because that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
You know,
And Jennifer, I don't think it's weird. I don't think it's weird at all. So I personally had to stop going to the cemetery because one, my brother's, he's there, but not there, but there are so many people I know buried there
Yes.
that I
Yes.
was like, this is terrible. How many
Yeah.
people I know who are here? Like, you
Yeah.
know, but yeah, so um I it's easy to cut things off sometimes and um just kind of put it on the back burner for a
A hundred
while.
percent. 100%.
So,
Yeah, it's
but
something
yeah.
that it's like I when I used to go to therapy, my therapist called it the grief shelf, and you have a box
Mhm.
of all the specific things that cause you grief, and you put it on the shelf until you are ready to deal with it. And I don't
Well, I
think that
love
that's a
that.
yeah, I don't think that's a bad way to deal with it because
Yeah.
we're only human and we
Yeah.
cannot um I don't know, there's only so much that we can go through, and especially right now with everything going on in life and the world and everything like that, the very close personal relationships that we have with each other are some of the most important relationships that get us through our day to day. So you have to just make sure that when situations like this arise, that you continue to take care of yourself in spite of it.
Hmm.
And
And
that's the best advice I can.
eat.
Yeah,
You
eat.
have to eat,
Yep,
man.
you have to eat, you
It,
have to have water. Like it
it's
sucks. I know sometimes you
yeah.
lose your appetite when things like this happen, but you have to eat, you have to drink water,
Yeah.
and you have to try to get sleep
Yeah.
too.
Oh my God, that was so hard to do. Um, yeah, it's a good diet. I'm not gonna lie. You
Yeah,
look really good when you're
you'll look
grieving,
great afterwards, but at
but
what
when you have
cost, you know?
the
Yeah,
flu or grief,
yeah,
like you look amazing because you just lose weight, you just feel good, but you have to remember to eat.
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It has been hard to eat and sleep lately.
Yeah.
Lately I've been struggling with sleeping a lot.
Hmm.
Um, I get maybe like two and a
Hmm.
half, 3 hours a night, and then I take like a
Yeah.
nice 2 hour nap during the day. And it's just I don't know, like I think that there is maybe a collective grief that we are all experiencing, especially for people who are compassionate and empathetic towards other people on this planet.
Yeah.
And I think that that's also something that people are kind of carrying with them right now. It's like grief of going, oh, life is nothing like I expected it to be, and it
Yeah.
probably never will. Um, and people are coming to terms with that, and it's very very difficult to deal with right now for sure.
It is. It is. And memes, I agree. I love having dark
Uh huh.
humor. Like grief and trauma make you really funny. Like they just give you the best
Yeah.
humor. Um and that's kind of been healing for me is laughing at the
Yeah.
stupidest things. Like
Yeah. That's
I can watch Rick and Morty every day and I've seen the same things over and over, but I can still watch it because it's so dark,
yeah.
you
Yeah. That's what
know.
I've been doing too. I feel,
It
and
helps.
I'm at the point where I've noticed you and I are both doing it too. We've been like
Yeah.
posting a lot more and we're doing our lives again and things
Yeah.
like that because I'm at the point where if I don't have community of some sort, or like I'm talking to people and saying like, "Hey, you're not alone. You're not crazy. Like
Yeah.
you're good. I promise you. We're all in
Yep.
this together." I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go
Yep.
cuckoo bananas. So that's why if I'm not doing this with Seth or if I'm not posting my vampire stuff, I am playing Minecraft. I am only
Yeah.
29 years old. I still play Minecraft. I started in 2006. I get off of here, I get into comfy clothes, I get all my work done for the day, get in comfy clothes, and then
Yeah.
I play Minecraft and I farm and I fish and I build a house. And that's what I do.
That sounds
That's
kind
my
of
life.
fun.
And that is my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch a lot of shows like
Yeah.
YouTube. I have to say YouTube's really great to learn a new trade on the side, just watching a video while you're
Best.
working.
It's the best.
Like, I mean, really. So I do all that and like learning how to write different script for your website so it runs a little bit different and stuff. And it sounds like
Yeah.
tedious, but it's really I'm like, that's not that hard to do.
No, you can
You
do
know?
it. You can do it.
And so there's a lot of things. I watch a lot of old reruns and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and
It's like
yeah. So
Hex plays Minecraft because she's Minecraft addicted. I mean, you know, I guess so.
hmm.
Sorry, I like to help villagers with their crops,
Mhm.
gosh,
Yeah,
jeez. But
that's so funny.
yeah,
Oh
no,
my
it's
goodness.
I don't know, it's a reprieve. It's not a vice.
Yeah. Fear is really easy it's easy to ride that wave when it's constantly shoved down your face, down your
Yeah,
throat, right in
definitely.
front of you constantly. And it sucks because now it's being pushed at all of us across all social medias. And so I have to limit my time. I'll go on and I'll make posts with certain things. And like I posted this, so I have to wait 2 hours to post this. And oh, I got a live with Jules, or Jules and I are teaching Patreon. Like I have to have that constant distraction because it's easy to get in that
Yeah,
headspace. And so and we're not candy coating anything. It is really scary right now. We are both,
I'm terrified. I will not.
yeah, we're doing what
I'm
we
terrified.
can.
Yeah.
Like I I have to check on her throughout the day. I check on Byron throughout the day. I make sure everybody is doing okay. You know, and I'm just like, our house is standing, everything is
Mhm,
fine.
mhm,
It's just it, there's like a lot all at once, and so
mhm.
it's good to have one good distraction, and and it's just really good to have a good
Yeah.
distraction.
I
So,
think at the end of
but
the day, if you are reading or you're watching a television show or you're getting into films that you've never seen before or you're doing puzzles or you're playing your comfort game or something like that,
yep.
you got to give yourself at least like an hour at minimum to
Mm-hmm.
reprieve during the day right now. You need to
Yep.
make sure, please eat, please get some sleep, take a nap if you have to. Do not feel bad for wanting to rest your body in times of great duress, okay? We
Mm-hmm.
are we are under a lot of constant stress. I mean, all day.
Mm-hmm.
We were not,
It's a
sorry,
lot.
the New Yorker just slipped out there all day, okay? We were
Mm-hmm.
not, as a species, meant to be processing this much information in real time 24/7. We were not, okay? This is why people start to have mental breaks. This is why people's mental health is detrimental. We're in a mental health crisis right now. It's because people have too much information coming in at all times. And at the end of the day, like, it's a blessing and a curse staying up to date with the world and what's going on and being informed. Like, of course, it's a privilege at the end of the day to be able to get that. But
Yep.
processing this much information, it's going to be detrimental to your mental health. And so take some time throughout the day, take a nap, do something that makes you happy, do something that's for you, even if it's
Yep.
inherently selfish in your opinion, just do something for you.
Yep.
Really. It's the best thing you can do. Life is short. Who knows how long we have? Like,
Yeah.
it's okay. Bake the
It
banana bread, do the puzzle,
seriously.
read the raunchy novel, okay?
Yeah.
Watch the ridiculous movie.
Yeah. Just do
Enjoy a
it.
little bit of time each day for yourself. It's not selfish at this point.
Yep. And I just noticed the time.
I know. Yeah.
Um, but one last thing that's really funny is that I thought was funny is somebody robbed an egg truck and stole $100,000 and $100,000 in eggs.
That was me
Just
for
robbed the
baking.
truck. Yeah,
That was
I
me.
knew it was
I was
you.
making the banana bread.
Yeah, and yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny. Who knows? I mean, you can't freeze eggs, so I don't know what they're gonna do with that many eggs, but honestly, like the bird flu is really going around, so just you don't need
Yeah, just
eggs.
be careful.
Just, just be
I did,
careful.
if it makes you feel better, I was looking up, so far as it has been reported, no one has been hospitalized due to eggs. It's been due to touching birds.
Touching birds. Yep.
So don't
Yep, that's
touch
what it
any
is.
birds right now.
No
No
hugging
birds.
chickens.
Don't
No
touch
hugging.
any birds.
So, more
Yes.
positive selfishness is a great way to
I
say
agree.
that.
I always tell people
Yeah.
anytime I have a client and they're like, I
Mm.
feel a little because the cards are always like, you're gonna be a little bit selfish.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is not wrong to be selfish so that you can be
Yep.
selfless in the future. You have to take care of yourself before you pour out to
Hmm.
others. And if you're
Yep.
taking care of yourself, you're feeding yourself, you're having water, you're sleeping, you're in a good frame of mind, you're
Yep.
able to deal with stress better and you're able to deal with other people's stress better too. So just,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah. They were
um,
cost. I
I've heard
heard
that.
that the average weight in Costco here, we only have one north of us here, to go into the store is an hour and a half right now. And
Yeah.
so they're extending their
Oh, so
hours, but
we're not eating in our household. We're not eating eggs right now. No, we're
no.
not buying chicken.
Yeah.
We're not even buying. We don't eat red meat, so we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're on like the fish diet right now. So I don't know
Yeah.
what else
Well, it's
to
kind of
do. I was
it's the
like, ooh,
healthiest one to do.
yeah.
Like,
I don't want to sprout feathers,
yeah,
or whatever this one does. No, I'm kidding.
and
I'm
what
just joking.
yeah,
I'm just
oh my,
joking. I'm
she comes
joking.
out with wings. She's like, look what I got.
I got the
I,
bird.
you know that what's that cheap lettuce? It's usually like 99 cents a head. Uh,
Iceberg.
iceberg. It is $4 right
That
now.
stuff is like the plastic wrap of
Yeah,
lettuce.
I was like, and that's at Safeway. I'm like, is iceberg lettuce really $4?
Yeah, no.
Like iceberg lettuce? Like
Yeah.
that is like the cheapest lettuce ever. What the heck? So
Oh, thank God.
I'm in the UK, so
Yeah.
eggs are
I
fine.
was gonna
Yep.
say, like, as long as at the end of the day, just use your discernment. Don't like
Hmm.
if you're really worried, go check the recall list.
Yeah.
That's where you need to look.
That's
Don't
where you need to
listen to
be
social media.
careful.
Look at
Hmm.
the actual recall list on like
Yep.
the websites where the
Yep.
people who are scientists are putting it. Look at those.
Yep.
Um, as of right, that's why as of right now, eggs as of right now are safe.
Yep.
The reason I believe eggs are recalled is because so many chickens are infected that it's like stopping production. That's why.
Yeah.
But we're just not eating them to be on the safe side. We're erring on the side of caution.
Hmm.
That's how we're
I
operating. So
agree.
just if you're worried, go look at the recall list.
Yep.
That's why I'm gonna be honest, we don't eat carrots
I
and we only eat
saw that about
we
carrots.
don't eat
Oh my
carrots.
God.
We don't
I
eat
was like,
carrots. We
ooh.
also are only eating cucumbers from certain places right
Yeah,
now.
I saw that as
Yeah,
well.
so just
Yeah, that was.
just check. There's also an app you can get. I think it's called, God, it's called like Recall. It has like an air horn on it.
Yeah.
Download that if you can.
Yeah.
That will tell you based off of your area code what is on recall. That's my
Okay.
best advice.
That's great to know.
That's my,
Uh,
carrots right now. Unfortunately, is it was it darling? Do you remember if it's Dominic's on here? Dominic, is
yeah,
it listeria?
I think it was.
It's
I think
listeria,
that's what it
right?
was.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think. Just be
Because it
careful.
was because with cucumbers there was spreading uh the chicken thing. The damn, what is that
I don't know.
called?
All I know is that it was because
There's
it's the one that you can get and you don't wash your hands after going to the bathroom,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
what's on it. Like, okay,
yeah.
so just it's based off of area code. It will let you
Hmm.
know. It's like
Salmonella.
salmonella. Yes, yes, yes. Salmonella and listeria are going around real bad right now.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
So,
just it is what it is.
yep.
I cannot recommend getting that app enough. It will tell you based if you just put in your area code, it'll tell you what the recalls are for your state and area.
Yep, it does. And you know,
Best thing to
most
do.
stores are like our grocery stores here are really good. They will block off entire sections saying this is not for
Yeah,
sale right
ours
now.
too.
Like,
Thank God. Yeah,
uh,
ours too.
and they'll pull it and all that. One of our stores doesn't have eggs at all. The other one only has organic eggs from the area. Like they're buying
Mm-hmm.
them obviously from people that have eggs. And they're really not that expensive at honestly. But but yeah, just pay
Just
attention.
yeah, just
So,
for yourself. Good
mhm,
app since the recall. Yes, the
yeah,
.gov
it's
ones are not up.
gone. They
Get
took away all of it.
the recall one. Get the recall app. It's an air horn like that's like
Oh,
that. It's like a little
I
air horn.
forgot that he was in Ireland.
Yes, Lord of is in Ireland. I know. I miss it every day. Every
I
day. I
for
lived in Galway for 3.5 years. Take me back.
That's
I
amazing.
just want to go home. Please. Please.
I love picking salmon
I
Dom.
love
Oh my God. And
fire.
it just here's your fresh dinner of salmonella.
Here's your salmonella and listeria dinner. Here you go.
That's so funny. I just got it. Oh my
Oh
God, I'm
my
such an
God.
airhead.
Yeah, that's all we need
Um,
right now is listeria or
I know.
salmonella. Also, I believe the inoculation period of
Yay.
salmonella and listeria is pretty long, so
Mm,
you won't know you
mm.
have it for like 4 weeks or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I don't know the actual, but it's a long period of time.
Yeah.
So just I'm just listen, I love all you guys who are on here. Just
Mm.
download the recall app so you can see in your area. Did you say asbestos cookies? Yeah. Yeah. He's such a jerk. He's such a jerk.
Byron and Dom should have their own bakery selling like airborne disease sounding
We need
desserts. I
no,
I
you know
bet
what
it
it is?
would.
We need like goofball Wednesday and it's Byron and Dominic just going back and forth. I think that would be funny.
I would laugh at that end of the world bakery, and they could sell everything like
Just
this is
yeah.
this vaccine, or yeah, like
And
this is
Byron,
the new HMPV.
did you see Byron
These
said,
cookies are great.
"Eat the
Eat
cookie,
the
mother."
eat the cookie. Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Oh
Oh yeah, don't
man. I
forget
just
the
want
cotton candy in your walls.
the cotton candy in the walls are
That's
the
the
best.
best one. It's
Yeah.
the best flavor.
It's, and we kind of grew up with asbestos. Like my dad would work on it. They put asbestos in old cars all the
Mm,
time, and
mm.
my dad would work on his car all the time. I'm sure I have breathed in so many. I don't even know. Maybe one of my lungs is made of asbestos now. I don't know. He can be on my prank call segment. Oh my God, you guys could be. Was it the Dicky Boys, or the Jerky Boys? You
Dicky
and Byron
boy.
are the new Jerky Boys.
Dicky boy.
Was it the Dicky
I
Boys
don't
or the
know.
Jerky?
I think
I
it's
think
the
it's,
Jerky Boys.
is it the Jerky Boys or the Dicky Boy? I don't know. Byron and Dom would be really great at that. Oh my God.
Stop saying it.
Paint chips with sour cream. That
It's the
sounds
Jerky
amazing.
Boys. Yes.
The Jerky Boys. Thank you. Hey,
The
it's just
Jerky
me
Boys.
laughing. Hold
Oh
on.
my
They're like,
god.
why is Dad having fun in there without us?
God, it's the fun police. Oh my
So,
god. All right.
hey,
Well,
I will be there in a minute.
um, okay, so let me write down the last thing we spoke about was okay, perfect.
The Dicky
Okay, so
Boys.
yeah, I'm just gonna write Dicky Boys.
Dicky
Number 7, Dicky Boys.
Byron and Dom will be the Dicky Boys.
Oh
And
my
they'll specialize in baked goods named after scary diseases and prank phone
god. Oh my
calls.
god. Okay.
We have the Ducky Boys here. There's a group here called the Ducky Boys. And they're like they're basically skaters that are skins. So
Mm,
skinheads against racial prejudices, and I forget what the last S stands for, but they're called the Ducky Boys.
mm.
So
Okay,
put it
well,
in a put it in a
well,
podcast.
put it in the podcast. All right. Well, we'll let you
Like
guys
it's a
go.
pan. Oh, I know.
Um,
We should probably,
I
and
know
our
we'll
dogs
release
are
you all
all
from our clutches.
whining.
I
So
will when we get off here, we're gonna upload this onto YouTube. Those of you who are watching afterwards, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our podcast section of the
I
YouTube
know.
channel.
Ooh.
But thank you guys for being
Yes.
here. We love you so much. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time. If you
Yep.
have any topics or suggestions or anything like that that you want us to discuss in our next podcast live, you can leave it in the comment section of the YouTube video that goes up. You can also message either of us privately. I probably will see it first because I check my filtered inbox like a freak. So you can just message me there, and I will write them down for the next time. But thanks for being here, guys. I love you
I
all
know.
so much.
Love you
I love
guys.
you. You look gorgeous as
I
always.
love
Thanks for
you.
being
You do
here.
too.
Oh
Oh my
God.
God, yeah. This is what we needed, was just to laugh somewhat
I
today,
agree.
because
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Well,
Because
we'll
it's been a long week and it's only
I
Tuesday.
know.
So
Well, we'll see you all very, very soon.
So,
And yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this week again, probably, well, Saturday for sure.
Okay, cool. So you'll see
And
him on Saturday for
yeah.
Insomniacs.
So Benny and the Jets. Oh, I'll learn about the Jets. Yeah, I just started singing the song. Benny and the
Oh my
Jets.
God. All right, guys.
Well,
We'll see you soon.
I'll see you guys later. Bye, you guys.
Bye.